Hello and welcome everyone. This is Race on Oz. This is Season 1, Round 1, Tier 1. It's a lot of ones. For Gran Turismo 7, Brands Hatch this evening. So welcome one and all. It's the beginning of a new season. So looking forward to it all kicking off. It's already been a pretty big day of racing already with the Bathurst 12 hour. I don't know if you caught any of that. But my name is Nick, and I'll be taking you through tonight's proceedings over the next sort of hour and a bit. But before we do that, we'll sort of just do a little bit of housekeeping and we'll get into it. We're still about 10 minutes away from getting qualifying kicked off. But we'll just go through a little bit of the season setup and whatnot. And we'll get things underway very, very shortly. So let's have a quick look here. This is the schedule for this season. So it's 7 rounds. We're looking at, obviously tonight we're at Brands Hatch. Next week we'll be at Big Willow Springs. The week after that, round 3, we're going to be at High Speed Ring. Then it'll be round 4, where they were today, Mount Panorama on the 5th of June. So looking forward to that. Round 5, 19th of June. Will be at Trial Mountain. That's going to be an endurance round as well. So just mixing it up there a little bit. We will then, round 5 also, we have a 2-week break in there. It's the Queen's birthday weekend in there. So we won't have a race on that weekend of the Queen's birthday. So we'll come back on the 19th of June after the 5th. 26th of June at Steep Forest Raceway for round 6. And then to wrap up the season, it will be round 7 on the 3rd of July. We'll be at Daytona Road Course, one day before 4th of July. Very, obviously, famous date in America. So that's the season. I like the mix of tracks in there. You've got some real-life tracks. Then you've also got, obviously, Gran Turismo tracks in there as well. So really looking forward to this season. Looking forward to see what's to come of it. And, get it all kicked off tonight. Weapon of choice this season is going to be the GR Supra race car, the 2019 version. It's a fun car to drive if you haven't driven it already. So that's going to be the, obviously it's a single make series, but that will be the car that will be used this season. So nice and planted as well. Good little sort of fun car to be driving to. I think it's in the PP range around about 600s, I think, around about there. So should be good fun to watch these guys throwing around the tracks this season. Let's have a look at the settings for this evening before we get into things too deeply. So you've got the tuning obviously prohibited. So it's definitely a case of run what you brung. And tuning is prohibited on this one. It's tie wear at times 1. So it's realistic tie wear. Racing hards are the tyres available. Bit tricky around here on the hards actually, so it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. There will be a mandatory pit stop as well, so one mandatory pit stop this evening. Fuel depletion will be at a multiplier of 3, and the initial fuel will be at 100%. So they'll be able to brim these cars, but obviously that they will require that stop for fuel along the way. Qualifying is going to be 10 minutes, so that'll kick off at 8:20. And the race will start at 8:30 local Eastern Standard Time. Race distance, we're doing 30 laps tonight around Brands Hatch. The weather is very un-English-like. Oh, well, maybe English for this time of the year. Let's not give it to them too hard. It's hazy and sunny with a few clouds. So no rain, no overcast. It's going to be nice and bright, sunny conditions. So should be good weather for some nice racing. Let's have a look at the track. So it's a 3.9 kilometer circuit. It's only 9 turns, but man, it is an unrelenting circuit. So this is a track that has a lot of undulations, and it's a track that does require full commitment as well, especially at the back part of the track through it's got sector 3 on there, sector 2, whatever it is, the green one there, through turn 5, which is Hawthorne. Then you go up the Derek Minter Straight, turn 6 at Westfield, and turn 7 at Sheens. All 3 really fast right-handed corners. And then you've got the hard braking for turn 8 into Sheens. So that part of the track is really where you can make it or break it. and it's going to take full commitment up that back half of the circuit. So it'll be interesting to see how they go around there this evening with those challenges that this circuit definitely presents. But it's a fun one. It's a good one to get us started off. Let's have a quick look from on board. So I just want to put it out there as well. I did this one tonight. I'm not a great driver, but I didn't have time to put it out there. So I am putting it out there now. If you would like to be on the hot lap, first in, best dressed, send us in we'll do it for every race this season. So send them in for me. You don't want to watch me driving around all season, but just to kick us off, just for this one, the one and only, let's have a look from the onboard. All right, so bringing it just into turn one, we start the lap, keeping a nice tight apex there, head down the hill, usually gives a little bit of a shake to the car there, bringing it into turn two now, nice tight apex there, using all of the curb, then a run down the hill. You can run it high in the rev range here in third, just ease off the gas there. You want to try and use that apex just to pull the car through the corner. Bit of a tricky braking zone here. You really got to be aware where your marker is. A bit of a late apex as well. I tend to drift the car a little bit outside. I don't think you're supposed to do that. Hit that little patch there, and then it's down the hill once again. Now this is where the big courage pays off. So turn 5, fourth gear, just floating it through. And then you got turn 6, which is Westfield. So you want to just clip the inside of the curb there. You can take a fair bit. You got a little bit of safety on the outside there. Now coming up to turn 7, this is Sheen, so this is quite tricky. You want to clip the inside again, but you got no cover on the outside there. So you got to make sure you keep the car on the track. Turn 8 to Sterling's in third gear. Get a nice run out of there. Then it's a chance just to breathe a little bit before you come through to turn 9. The final turn on the circuit. Down into fourth gear. Once again, nice turn, tight apex, just floated not too far on the outside. You want to keep it tight coming across the line, and that is a lap of Brands Hatch. So, although it is only 9 turns, it's an unrelenting 9 turns. So, good luck to everyone racing tonight. Bye-bye. All right, cool. So that was a lap of the Brands Hatch circuit. You will notice that I didn't have the time up there. I won't divulge the time, but these guys will definitely be going faster than that. So that was a lap around the Brands Hatch circuit. We are moments away from kicking this one off. Before we do, let's just hear for a quick word from our great sponsors of Race on Oz. So thank you, a big shout out to all our sponsors for Race on Oz. Just a quick little announcement as well. Pagny and Next Level have donated a rig as well for this season for ACC leagues, GT7, ACC on both console and on PC as well. So just waiting for a few more to make their way into the lobby here. I think we're up to about 10 right now, so waiting on a few more and we will get this thing underway. We're just waiting for everyone to turn up and then we can get this thing started. So just bear with us, a little bit of patience, and yeah, we should get this one started very, very soon. So got about 10 in there now. Might as well bring the screen up, I reckon. So just having a look, this is who we have so far. So we've got 10. I thought we were waiting on a few more at this stage. And once we do get everyone, we can get this thing started. So 10-minute quali, and then it's going to be 30 laps of Brands Hatch tonight. So looking forward to this one. Done a lot of commentating on this circuit recently, probably the last 2 weeks. Done a lot around here. It's on a different platform. Well, just console, but ACC. Assetto Corsa Competizione, for those who might not be familiar. So Gran Turismo 7 is going to be a little bit of a different beast. Present its different challenges as well, and it's going to be great to see how these guys do it. Just still waiting at this stage. Just checking, nothing in the Discord by the looks of things, but nothing much happens in there anyway. So two army dudes, yeah, I'm not too sure. We got like Japanese flag on there. Oh, here we go. So we got some movement. How many do we have in here? 10. All right, cool. 10 it is. Let's do this. All right, so 10-minute qualifying. We've got A. Matthews out there. Plenty of cars coming out onto the circuit now. So really looking forward to checking out the liveries as well. Everyone's different styles. This is Ranger. I like the little Racing Oz there across the top of the windscreen. This is Groover, of course. Here is Groover. Oh, he's just gone off there. That's just at Surtees turn 4. So just getting himself familiar with his surroundings. Here's Butler, a big Coca-Cola fan out there. I saw someone before earlier with a 7-Eleven livery in a different room. So here we go, Heineken and Monster Energy. Don't know if you'd want to mix those two together. Here's Nathan, Converse livery there. So plenty of cars out on track. All looking very good to kick off the season. Here's Crunch with the standard Toyota Racing livery on there as well. K McDonald's gone with the all black. Digging it. Sid. And here we go. So, A. Matthews is going to be the first driver away. We'll see what sort of time. But here we go into turn 2. Nice aggressive turn in there. So it's the racing hards. So it's they're not the most comfortable tyre to be on around here. So that'll definitely present a challenge to all the drivers tonight. Down Pilgrim's Drop under the bridge, and here's where you need to be fully committed through here. Just keep those tyres squealing a little bit. That was Hawthorne's. Here's Westfield. Oh, he ran a little bit wide there. Oh, he's turned it around. So there we go. That's the first driver of the evening to make a mistake through that back part of the circuit through 5, 6, and 7. This is Ranger. He's gone to the head of the pack now. So he'll end up being the first driver here to set a lap. Let's see what he comes in as he comes through the final turn, climbs up the hill past the start-finish line. It's going to be a 1:30.7 to kick us off. Matthews, he had that issue. Fleming comes across. Here's A. Matthews too. Oh, Groover looks like he's... Oh, that was just at the final turn, so he's made a little mistake through there. Butler going through now, 1:32. Here's Fleming. So I think mostly everyone has submitted a time. That's Nathan, but right now it is Ranger at the top of the time. So good start from him. As Groover just gets out of the way of Nathan. So 1:30.7 from Ranger is the time to beat. It's a 10-minute qualifying session. And then we'll go into the 30-lap race for this one of round 1 of Race on Oz, season 1 of Gran Turismo 7. I'll step away from Nathan. We'll just see what Ranger's doing, if he's up on his best time. Display or give us... Here we go. He is up on his best time as well, almost by 10, just over a 10th. Coming through the final turn now. Runs a little wide, but that looks pretty good to me. Let's see what he can do. Can he beat his 1:30.7? Oh, no, he can't. He just misses out. Here's Sid. Not too sure how to pronounce that name, so my apologies if I get it wrong this evening. This is GT King. He's currently sitting in P3, 6/10 off his best time. Trying to get a little bit of a tow there from C. Butler in front of him. See if he can improve on his time. He does, but he doesn't improve on position. So he will remain there for now. I'm just trying to get to that final car there. Nathan. So he sets a time good enough for P8 at this stage. So right now, it's Ranger from Sid, GT King, Crunch, A. Matthews, C. Butler, Fleming, C. Fleming, and Nathan. That's our top 8 right now. We're on board with Crunch, who's currently sitting in P4 in the second row of the grid. The inside there of Hawthorne, that's the optimum line. And then coming through, this is Sheen's now. It's the fast right-handed. Don't have any cover out there, right there. So, oh, he's still up on his best time though, sliding it there through Sterling. So just throwing caution to the wind right now, Crunch. See what he can do, if he can improve on that P4 time right now. He does, he goes P3, so nice work from him. Here's GT King, he's currently sitting in P5. Crunch just took P4. Let's see if GT King can unseat him here. Cannot, so that was definitely not a time to make a move there at all. Just seeing who else is coming through. We'll have to excuse the somewhat clunky sort of workings right now. I'm just still getting used to the Gran Turismo system at this stage, so bear with me. So this is K. McDonald. He is currently in P1 in the all-black liveried Supra. Perhaps he's a man who means business. Let's see what he can do right now. So he's as a time of a 1:30.3. That is extremely rapid around here. Just coming to the end of his lap now. Really improve on that time currently. No, he doesn't. Just misses out. So still feeling it out there. This is GT King. Currently in P5. Let's see if he can beat a 131.2 is his best he can, but doesn't improve on P5. So, oh, we've got a spinner. That's Groover. He's not had the best of time since heading out there right from the get-go for qualifying. So, we'll have to reset and go again. This is C. Fleming. There's a bit of a New Zealand flavour to that livery. His best times are 131.4. Good enough for P7 right now. So just making his way now through Sheen's. This is the corner. Catches many drivers out. Not this time though. He's up on his best time. So we're right on board with him. I dare say probably be winding down very, very shortly. It's supposed to be only 10 minutes. So he needs to make the most of it. He does improve, but only just, and not good enough to get out of P7 there. So that's where he'll remain for now. Matthews, good enough for P6. What about GT King? 130.9 was his last lap. His best of the session. He doesn't improve on that one. So just trying to find the next driver coming over. This is Nathan. He doesn't improve, so he's in P9 right now. This is C. Butler in the Coca-Cola car. 2/10 off his best time, so he won't be improving there from P8 right now. Just having a look at who's ahead here. Sorry for jumping around. Here's Ranger. He's currently in P2. His best time at 130.4. That was his last lap as well. So working very nicely into the session now. He's 3/10 down on his best time though. So not going to be good enough at this stage right now to unseat K. McDonald, who sits on pole position. Comes through the final turn now. And he's down by 3/10. So he won't be going anywhere at this stage. Here's Sid. I have to get confirmation how I pronounce his name. So he's currently P3. A 130.5 is his best time. Only 2/10 off pole. And he's definitely not going to improve at that stage. Oh, this is Crunch. So it looks like C. Fleming is there with him as well, and I think that might indicate that qualifying has come to an end. Yes, it has. So there it is, everyone. So the for round one, season one, K. McDonald is our pole sitter with a rapid time there of a 1:30.299. So nice work to him. Ranger is in P2. Sid there in P3, then Crunch on the second row of the grid there in 4th position. A. Matthews is going to start the race there from 5th position. GT King is going to start there in 6th spot. 7th will be C. Fleming, and then we'll get the rest of them. I might not have time for the rest of them. There's 3 more after that, so we've only got a grid of 10 cars, so not too bad. We'll get the other 3 momentarily, but we are not too far away at all from getting this one started. 30 laps of Brands Hatch. Let's go racing. Looks like it's a pretty good start by most drivers. Yes. we go. Here's K McDonald, leads them through the first turn. Sid and Ranger are going to go side by side through there as well. Oh, Ranger just gets run a little bit wide there. He might get caught up with A. Matthews. Looks like it was a pretty good start. Crunch in there, just barging his way forward. But it's K McDonald, Sid, Ranger, Matthews, Crunch and Groover. That's your top 6 right now. Here's GT King trying to put a move on Groover right now, and he does. So nice work from him. And at the back of the pack is C. Butler. So everyone's managed to get away. It was in the driver's briefing to make sure to just pick your lane through turn 1. Everyone seems to have done that very nicely. We've got all 10 cars still facing the right way around. And we're on lap 1 of 30. This is round 1, tier 1, GT7 on Race on Oz. And K McDonald in the lead here from Sid. These two will want to try and break away from this pack as quick as they can, but a 1-make series should keep the racing pretty close amongst everyone. And let's see if we can get some nice battles this evening. So the pack's still nicely bunched up, nice and tight. As K McDonald is going to lead him through the start-finish line for the first time tonight. This is K McDonald, Sid, Ranger, A. Matthews, Crunch, GT King, C. Fleming and Groover. That's your top 8. We've got 2 more at the back there. We'll get to them momentarily. This has been a good start. I think everyone will just start to settle into it. I think GT King is going to make a move there on Crunch in front of him. But he's got C. Fleming to worry about right behind him. And C. Fleming looking to go up the inside here. And I think he's made that pass work. He has. GT King's not going to give it up without a fight here. They're going to go side by side. This is going to be very interesting. Coming through Hawthorne turn 5. GT King will have the inside line. Oh, this is full commitment. Nice work there from C. Fleming under all kinds of duress. He was able to soak up that pressure and make his way through there. So he moves himself up into P6. Good start from him. That's some good side-by-side racing there. Very respectful of one another. And now Groover is going to try and make a move on GT King. So out in front though, it's K McDonald and Sid from Ranger. That's your top 3. We'll get to them in a minute. Just want to have a look at how this one pans out between C. Fleming and GT King as they cross the start finish line one more time. Heading into turn 1. Down through Paddock Hill. Is he going to make a dive here? No, he doesn't. C. Fleming goes to sort of cut him off, makes a little bit of contact. Oh, I think C. Fleming, he almost went around. Almost went all the way around. He's dropped all the way back to the rear of the field though. Down there in P9, just got Butler behind him. So he didn't go all the way around. Just a little bit of argy-bargy early on in this one. With 3 laps into 30. And it's K McDonald leading it from Sid. These two started to pull a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field. Ranger just trying to hang in there with them. But the pace is pretty hot and heavy at the front of the field between these two. So they'll come around for one more lap. Ranger just hanging in there as well. He's got Crunch just behind him. So we've still got all 10 cars going, which is fantastic to see as they climb up the hill now into Druids. So a compulsory pit stop tonight, so that there is a little bit of strategy. 1 mandatory stop to make. We're all on the hard tyres. So what can Crunch do? Can he get a little bit of a toe here from A. Matthews in front of him? Does he go through Hawthorn? Oh, a little bit squirrely through there for Matthews. That's all you need. And Crunch able to send it up the inside. Oh, they make contact. And that's propelled Matthews back a bit. And he loses the spot to GT King as well. So he loses a couple. GT King's the beneficiary out of that. And Crunch is now occupying P4 as he kicks up some dirt and grass there from the side of the circuit. I have to admire the graphics of this game as well. Very pretty indeed. I think we've got a bit of action going on at the back of the field here. This is Matthews and C. Fleming. So we saw these two earlier on. They've got Groover in front of them. So he seems to have recovered from whatever was ailing him in qualifying. He's managed to keep it facing the right way. He's having a little bit of trouble with that earlier on, but seems to have fixed that, and there's no dramas at all. Might go just to the front of the field and just keep an eye on these two. So the gap has maintained. K. McDonald isn't quite able to shake Sid. And these two, though, they have broken away a little bit from Ranger. So there we see him in the background. Not completely left him for dust yet. He's managing to hang in there, but these two, the pace is pretty strong between K. McDonald and Sid. So these two are out in front. Crunch is fourth, GT King, Groover, C. Fleming, A. Matthews. That's your top 8 right now. We've gone 5 laps, 5 of 30. So we're definitely working into a bit of a groove. That's the end of 5. This will be the start of 6. And that was Sid's best time there. Almost 3/10 faster than his previous best. Go on board and just have a look at how he's doing it. I don't know about you, but seeing my lap delta all the time, it can be a little bit distracting in this game, especially where it is right in your line of sight. I feel like it puts sort of unnecessary pressure on you. So down Pilgrim's Drop into Hawthorn. From both these guys. This is Westfield, so just clipping the inside of that curb. It's really how much you dare to run out there and use that ripple strip on the side of the circuit. Now here's Sheens. There's no cover out there. So that's full commitment into turn 8 Sterling's. Once again, just using the curb. Using all of the circuit to his advantage. These two matched extremely evenly. So maybe that hard tyre, maybe not feeling comfortable for Sid right now, perhaps. Still right on the pace though. Lots of constant radius turns through here, up the hill. Braking nice and easy for Druids. And these two just private battle right now, starting to separate themselves. So dare say Sid is probably not feeling as comfortable right now as K. McDonald. You can see the car just sliding around there a little bit on the previous lap. So we'll see how that develops. In the meantime, this is Ranger. Crunch and GT King. Where's GT King? There he is. So he's giving chase to Crunch, who's currently in P4 right now. GT King, he started in 6th, so he's moved up a spot. Good start for him. chase. So, see Fleming and Groover a little bit further behind these two. A trio of cars of C. Fleming, Groover and A. Matthews. This is for positions 6, 7 and 8. So it looks like they're out there having a nice old time there. Battling it out. And we're fast approaching third race distance as well. So laps starting to tick by when you're doing sort of, 90-second laps. They tend to go by pretty quick. A. Matthews just having a look at Groover. Just perhaps just trying to fill those mirrors, maybe force him into a mistake with a little bit of pressure. I have to say I do like that livery though of Groover's. Very impressive. Yeah, very nicely presented car. So head down Pilgrim's Drop one more time. Out through the fast right-hander, the trio of corners. Oh, almost a little bit of drifting through there from A. Matthews. So perhaps those hard tyres starting to just give way a little bit. A. Matthews starting to crawl all over the back of Groover right now. Kicking up another puff of dust. Grass spilling across the circuit. Hearing those tyres squeal. And complete another lap. See if he might be able to size him up. Into Druids again. Oh, right on the inside there. He's pushing pretty hard here, A. Matthews. Is he going to have a dive up the inside? No, he doesn't. Just get the feeling, though, he's just waiting for his moment to strike. So we have had a change of lead, though, at the front. My apologies, I didn't catch that. But Sid now is in front of K. McDonald. So it looks like Rangers just closed up a little bit more on these three. So perhaps there's a little bit of squabbling between the front two. And that's just played into Rangers' hands. He's been able to close up a little bit more as we had a nice shot there of K. McDonald just working the wheel. As they're coming through Sheens now. And he's almost half a second off his best time. He did do that on lap 3 though. A 1:30.4. And Ranger right in this now with these other two. So Sid leading us away up the pit straight. Can't make a move. It's a pretty popular spot there to send it up the inside, but definitely not close enough there. And Ranger perhaps just biding his time right now. Might be thinking about a pit stop perhaps. Get himself out of this traffic. Let these two squabble amongst each other. A little bit of an undercut perhaps. We'll have to wait and see. But those lap times there, if you have a look at K. McDonald, his last one's a 1:30.7. Before that, in the 31.1 and 32.8. So that was his slowest lap bar, the first one. So maybe a little bit of a mistake perhaps. Don't know. Try and keep a closer eye on the action. We always like to see lead changes. But Sid definitely doing a good job here. Just soaking up the action. 1:31.2, before that a 1:30.8, 31.2 on lap 7. Let's see what this time brings around. This will be lap 10. And we'll mark the third race distance. What does he go with? A 30.8, 30.837 and a 30.7 to Rangers. So a tenth the difference between all three of these cars. throw a blanket over them right now. So the pace is hot. And this is for the top 3 positions. This is for the podium. These boys are ramping it right up. Just have a quick scan through the field. This is GT King. He's in the 31s as well. C. Fleming did a 30.9, but hovering in the 31s. As A. Matthews and Groover, they resume their hostilities. P6 and 7. We've got C. Butler, Nathan, and Crunch there, making up the final position. So, out in front, the 3rd race distance, it is Sid from K. McDonald from Ranger. These two have definitely broken away from the rest of the field, and it's out on their own right now. So it'll be interesting to see when they decide to make their pit stop. So they go just the standard halfway, or try and push it a little bit longer or a little bit earlier. We'll have to wait and see as it unfolds. So a 30.7, a 30.4 from Sid, and a 30.5. So K. McDonald, he was the slowest of the 3 cars there on that last lap. So perhaps just not really enjoying these tyres right now. Obviously does have another car in front of him following quite closely, so that can reduce the lap times a little bit. That does add that extra layer of concentration required. But these are the only 3 drivers really circulating in the 130s. Everyone else was in the 131s. I think C. Fleming dropped to 130.9. They're nowhere near these 3 right now. So they're making their way through Sheens one more time. Sorry, not Sheens. That's Westfield. This is Sheens through here. Takes a lot of the curb, which you can do. Doesn't upset the car too much. Lap. Where does he go this time? 130.6, so an improvement on his previous lap of a 30.7, I think it was. Quick downshift there to 2nd gear. Ooh, he just runs a little bit wide. Is that going to open up the opportunity for Ranger? Not quite close enough. So Ranger did a 130.8. K. McDonald did a 130.6. And Sid did a 130.5. So 0.3 the difference spread across all 3 cars here. But this is good fun, these 3 out in front. Sid just a little bit of drifting. Just sliding the car through. I'm loving that. I'm loving that. Just that little bit of grass coming up. Looks awesome. But even better if it stayed on the circuit, that would be cool, but the aesthetics of it. Loving it right now. Here goes Sid. Another lap time. So Sid does a 130.7, a 30.8, a 30.7. So K. McDonald once again just a 10th off right now. But they're all operating within a 10th of one another. As A. Matthews makes a stop. Here we go. Tire change. What is going to happen? Mandatory stop here. C. Butler's in the pits as well. Don't think he took tyres, A. Matthews. C. Butler did. Filling up with fuel. As his team members Watch idly by. There you go. Done and out. So a couple of stops started to happen here. A. Matthews and C. Butler at the rear of the field. So almost the halfway mark. Let's see if that starts, kick-starts a whole bunch of activity in the pit lane here. As we're back to the front with these three. McDonald just trying to hunt down Sid. Ranger here has been in that third position for the majority of the race. I reckon he might be the first of the trio to pit, actually. Probably in his best interest. Sid goes a 1:30.7. Oh, a 30.4 from K McDonald that lap, and a 30.8. So he's definitely responded. So maybe Sid made a bit of a mistake somewhere along the line, and that's enabled K McDonald just to take a chunk of time, over a quarter of a second in fact faster than Sid on that last lap. So perhaps that's just enough to entice him, push a little bit extra, brake a little bit later. But we're at the halfway mark, so 15 laps of 30. Not too sure about you, but for me it's definitely flown by. It's usually a sign of enjoying yourself. I hope you're all enjoying yourself out there as well, whatever you're doing, wherever you're watching, whenever you're watching, whether you're live or on delay. See a couple of people in the chat there as well. Jay Mahoney, JJ, sounds like you've had a busy day, JJ, watching plenty of motorsport. MotoGP still to come tonight by the looks of it. Gaming Eclipse is in there as well. And we've got Scott Lanark. I think that might be how you pronounce it, not too sure. But hello, welcome everyone. Here we go. So no pit stops yet from the first three. No pit stops from anyone else either since. 30.8 for K McDonald on that one. Sid a 30.8 as well. And a 30.7 for Ranger. So as we've continued to see all three cars operating within a tenth of one another, and no one can really catch a break here, so it's going to be the strategy. This looks great on stream, guys. Good. Madison, hello Madison, hope you're enjoying the stream. So by the sounds of it, looks good for you. This is good racing too. Drop. This is Hawthorn. Now the next right-hander, Westfield, is in that curve just to sort of pull the car through there. Oh, such a scary turn through Sheens. It's almost like a relief because you're down the hill, and then you can see Sterling's. You're like, oh, good. I've got a corner that I can actually eyeball, not going in blind. Stay out. That completes lap 16. 1:30.4. So that pace is starting to ramp up a little bit from K McDonald. I'll get to the other guy shortly. A 30.5 from Sid, and Ranger did a 30.7. So K McDonald, whatever the issue was, he seems to have been able to at least temporarily rectify it. Starting to come back to him a little bit. His lap times have started to present 30.4, 30.8, 30.4, 30.8. So sort of up, down, up, down. See what he can do. But Ranger seems to have dropped off a little bit more. He was a lot closer earlier on, but just dropped back a little bit further. Not too much, but definitely not close enough at all to make to have a go. As we see the from above shot there made his way through Westfield. Tyres squealing. A little bit more grass being flicked up. But these three guys putting on a show. As they continue around for yet another lap. So they continue to tick over. A 30.5. A 30.3 from Sid. So he's responded with the fastest lap of the race. Ranger 30.5. So he matches K McDonald on that lap. But he's not making any ground on him. And Sid, he might have got the notice and say, hey, K McDonald just started to wind it up a little bit. He's just trying to protect his lead right now. So we won't have any weather affect this. We've got clear and sunny skies, a little bit overcast. But this is good stuff. We're going to have a race all the way to the very end. Down Pilgrim's Drop again. The marbles on the side of the road there. Not too much how much of an effect the marbles have in Gran Turismo 7. Haven't really experienced it too much. These guys just going absolutely flat out, giving it everything. Sliding the cars through. Let's see what K McDonald's got this time. 30.53 again. Sid goes at 30.535. A 30.236 from Ranger that time. So he responds with the fastest lap of the race. So I wonder if those hard tyres have maybe had a couple of different sort of phases. I'm just struggling a little bit with them earlier on, but seems to have come back to the drive. Oh no, Sid's lost it! I heard the squealing of the tyres. He's lost it. So that was just coming out of I think turn 4. It was. So, he's made him a big mistake. And that's cost him the lead. Oh, and Ranger's in front now. So Ranger was able to take full advantage of that. I didn't quite see it. I heard it, but I didn't see it. So Ranger, who just posted the fastest lap with a 1:30.2, he is currently in the lead now after Sid made that mistake in turn 4. I did see GT King lurking in the background. There he is. So he'll be wondering what's happened to Sid in front of him. He hasn't seen anyone for a fair while. And now he sees the Supra of Sid up ahead. Here we go. It's K McDonald versus Ranger. This is lap 19 of 30. So we're coming into the final third of this one. They're yet to make their stops. Only 2 cars across the whole field have made their stops so far. This is getting very exciting indeed. So 132.1, a 30.7 to Ranger. So obviously K McDonald was slightly affected by what he saw with Sid. But now we've gone from a 3-car race to a 2-car race. Let's see if Sid makes his stop. No, he doesn't. He continues on. All right, so he has a lot of work to do to try and make up. It might be a lonely drive for him for the next 10 laps. He doesn't have anyone behind him. Well, he's got GT King behind him, but he's a fair way. He's got these two way up the road. So he will be bitterly disappointed there with what happened. Like I said, I didn't hear it. I didn't see it. I heard it. So I won't speculate on anything. We'll just watch the action, call it as we see it. As K McDonald throwing that Supra through turn 6, now 7. And now it's going to be Ranger's turn to feel the pressure of the all-black Supra with K McDonald breathing down his neck. Can he hold him off? Can he absorb that pressure and take home a win? We're going to have to wait and see. Still got a pit stop to go. There's a mandatory stop. We're about to click over lap 21. There it is. 130.6 to K McDonald. He's starting to climb all over the back of Ranger in front of him. But as the great Murray Walker said, it's one thing to catch, it's another thing to pass. Oh, kind of saws that wheel a bit, doesn't he? Very aggressive turning, I've noticed. Out on the marbles there. This is the scene of the accident of Sid. So no one behind, as you can see. Sorry everyone. That was me trying to be clever. There we go. That's a bit better. Alright, so 130.9 was the last lap from Ranger. And you can see the mirror on the right hand side. Just full of all black Supra. Turn one more time. Laps just absolutely flying by. You can see him in the rear view mirror as well. He's definitely going to have his hands full for the rest of this one. A 30.7. Using a lot of the track there. The status quo. It's been a 10th between them pretty much the entire evening. And I know we focused on these guys for the majority of the race, but this is where the action's been. We've got a 10-car field. But I've been thoroughly entertained. I don't know about you, but this has been awesome racing. It was between the three of them. See how Sid is doing. There he is. A very lonely race for him right now. GT King. He doesn't have too many friends out there either. Here's C Fleming. This is Groover down there in 6th. So the field well and truly spread out. A Matthews, Nathan. He's got C Butler just pestering him. But that's down in 9th and 10th. So that's the field. 10 cars tonight. And the action though is hot at the front. Let's see what the lap time is from Ranger here. And these two, by the looks of things, are going to push their pit stops required right to the very end. A 130.5, a 130.7 to Ranger. So just a little bit quicker again than K McDonald on that last lap. K McDonald's going to be starting to think about, oh, there we go, purple sector. He's turning up the wick. He's going to start to be thinking, well, I'm going to run out of laps pretty soon. My time to make a move is going to be fast approaching, and it looks like that's definitely the thought process because he's turned it up. He's set a couple of purple sectors so far on this lap, lap 23 of 30. So go down, Pilgrim's Drop one more time. Through Hawthorne. This is where the pressure's going to feel this is where you feel the pressure the most, especially Ranger out in front with K McDonald just breathing down his neck. Picking your braking markers, getting your turning point just right, clipping the curb, not upsetting the car too much, keeping it on the black stuff facing the right way, and just try and keep that Supra behind you. Lap here, and we are fast approaching lap 30, lap 24 of 30 right now at 30.5 to Ranger. A 30.59 to sorry, Ranger. K McDonald was a 30.5. So he's throwing everything at him right now. Ranger is responding. It's just been a great effort from him. He was just tucked away in third spot. He was starting to drift a little bit further back when Sid and K McDonald were going at it. But he was able to just bide his time, took advantage of Sid's mistake. And here we go. We've got a pit stop happening right now. We'll get to that in a minute. K McDonald, though, purple sector again. He's absolutely going for it. Who was that in the pits? Oh, that was C. Fleming. He's made his stop. I don't want to miss this action out in front right now. This is between Ranger and McDonald for the lead. Looks like he had a really good run through Sheens. I don't need to tell you what the gap is between them right now. You can see it on your screen right here. You almost have to back off a little bit there. He's all over the back of Ranger now. And they're not pitting, so they're going to keep on going around. Gets a nice run through here, down through Paddock Hill. Oh! Did he make a little bit of contact? He's going to send... Oh, I thought he was going to send it up the inside. Looks like he had a pretty decent run at it as well. So, just backed out of it. Ranger's car right now. As you can see, K McDonald all over the back of him. This is what Ranger will be seeing. You can see his mirrors are full of that black Super right now. As he makes his way through Hawthorne again. Nice and smooth. Just eases off the gas there for Westfield. Now through the fast right-hander of Sheens. Runs the car nice and wide. Nice work there. 30.9 was his last lap. Let's see what he posts this time around. .033. So that's definitely his slowest lap for, I'd say, the entire race. We've got Sid making his stop. Just refueling by the looks of it. No tyres. Just refueling. There he goes. So 31.1 from K McDonald. 31.03. Groover making his stop as well. He's just taking fuel, so he's currently in P5. That's where he'll remain. Pretty easy stop for him. And back to these two at the front, Ranger and K McDonald. These two get to make their stops as well. Mandatory one stop in this race. They can start the race at 100% fuel. See on the dash there at 17:39 local time, 20.3 degrees. 20.4 now, it's gone up. And the heat is definitely on between these two. Oh no! Oh, he's lost it. K McDonald going into the pits. I just looked away for a second. And looks like he's going to change tyres as well. No, he doesn't. I thought I saw tyres with the pit stop. No, just fuel. Oh, that's going to be huge now. GT King, he's coming into the pits. He was in P2 momentarily. Where is Sid? Sid's gone through. GT King gets his pit stop done. He's out of there. And that means he's going to come into P4. So, did that mistake coming... Oh, no, he's got a 3-second penalty. That's it then. That's it for K McDonald. That's just insult to injury there. Made that mistake coming into the pits. Made the stop. Probably was frustrated. And he's copped a 3-second penalty. What could that have been for? I'm not too sure. but that means Ranger, this is just music to his ears right now. We're up 27 to 30. Closing stages of this one. He's going to be able to easily make a pit stop here and keep K McDonald behind him, especially with that 3-second penalty. He'll have to serve that at the penalty line that comes up just after Sterling's. And yeah, he does not look like he's very happy at all. Just throwing it through the corners now, sliding that car. This is Tier 1. Here's Ranger to James Pierre Reed. And Ranger making his stop now. K McDonald coming through. This still could be pretty close. There's Ranger. K McDonald, that's the gap. And not close at all. So Ranger just needs to do another 3 laps and he will take home this race victory. Very well earned. Still 3 laps to go though, obviously, but this man here, Sid, he'd be thinking, what if? Just made that mistake at turn 4 earlier on. He was out with the other 3. So what turned into was a 3-way battle, turned into a 2-way, and then K McDonald, he made a mistake. So it was a night of who could make the least mistakes, and it was this man out in front, Ranger. He made the least of all of them. Started P2 on the front row of the grid tonight as well. So he's had the pace all along. Held his own with the other 2. Just trundled along in P3 there. Was the recipient of some good fortune, but you got to be in it to win it. You got to be the right place at the right time, and he's definitely been that. So he doesn't need to push too hard for the remaining couple of laps here coming up. As he'll cross the line one more time for the penultimate lap. 33.5 from him. K McDonald at 130.3. So he's channeling that anger. That was 3 seconds faster than Ranger on that last lap. So this thing's not over right now. And he's up again. So just trying to get a beat on where he is on the track compared to Ranger. Let's go on board. Once you can see the car as well, he's another purple sector. There we go. So we can see Ranger just up ahead. Just gives you that little bit extra motivation to try and catch the car ahead. And Ranger might have seen that. Just be thinking, hey, I have this one in the bag. Taking his foot off the accelerator a little bit too much. So K McDonald, he's not going to give this one up without a fight. Stomping all over those curves. He's up on he gets a purple sector again. And he can see the super of Ranger just up ahead. He's about to begin the final lap of this one. And K McDonald, oh, that's a massive save. That's a huge save coming out of the final turn to start the final lap. He is pushing extremely hard. A 130.5 on that last lap. Yeah, that was a huge save. Pushing all the way to the end. You can see there's the car of Ranger just up ahead. Might be a little bit of a case of too little too late. That 3-second penalty definitely did not help him at all. What was Ranger's last time? A 30.7. So he definitely responded. He's just clicked over his best sector time as well. So he's gotten the message. You can see that K McDonald was charging hard, but only has a few more turns left to complete the final lap of this one, and he will be the first winner of the season as he comes through Sterling's now, and he get through the final turn. And he will take out race victory. Started on the front row of the grid. Had a couple of guys make mistakes. He didn't make any mistakes, and rightfully so. He takes out victory in round 1, Tier 1 at Gran Turismo 7. Congratulations, Ranger. Well done. K McDonald comes home in P2, and Sid will join them on the podium. He will take out P3. So congratulations to him. That's the podium there. GT King comes home to a well-deserved P4. Well done to him. Groover is coming through the final turn now. He's set to take P5. So nice result for him as he crosses the line to the checkered flag. Well done. A. Matthews. Oh, here we go. A. Matthews and Nathan still going at it. They're going to fight all the way to the bitter end. Can Nathan just pip him on the line? I don't think he can. A. Matthews holds him off for P6. Nathan comes home in P7. This is Butler in 8. See Fleming crashes across the line. Sparks flying. And rounding out the top 10 is Crunch. So congratulations to Ranger, who's taken home victory in round 1 of season 1 of the Gran Turismo 7 League. Great driving from Ranger there to take home the victory. Very well deserved. And the podium with K McDonald and Sid on there as well. All right, everyone. That is it. I don't think we're doing post-race interviews. We might organise that for the next one. We'll see how we go. But that is pretty much it. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I definitely did. That was my first time ever commentating on Gran Turismo 7, and I have to say, that was a lot of fun. 10 cars on track, but that was good fun. So we're going to do it all again next week. Next week we are at, I had the schedule up earlier on. So next week we're going to be at Big Willow Springs at Gran Turismo track. So that'll be nice and exciting. But until then, take care of yourself, everyone. Stay safe. And my name's Nick. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I will see you next time.